So thank you all for attending this platform presentation of my dissertation research. You can see here the title of my study is Physical Therapy Graduate Perceptions of the Didactic Use of GoReact Video Assessment Software and Work Readiness. With the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in the spring of 2020, many traditional Doctor of Physical Therapy education programs shifted to fully online teaching, learning, and assessment of academic content and practical psychomotor skills. Amid concerns over how online learning may affect skill acquisition and overall professional work readiness, some DPT program faculty introduced an innovative video assessment tool called GoReact to provide meaningful, time-stamped formative and summative feedback to uploaded student performance videos. However, despite this increased use of GoReact in DPT programs since the early COVID-19 pandemic, there is still little known about its use in physical therapy education, and in particular, how it relates to DPT graduates' professional work readiness, which was the problem explored in my study. So the purpose of my basic qualitative study was to explore the perceptions of DPT graduates' professional work readiness from using GoReact video assessment software during and following the PT profession's online curriculum delivery during the early COVID-19 pandemic at an accredited DPT education program in the United States. A basic qualitative methodology allowed me to explore DPT graduates' perceptions, experiences, and feelings about using GoReact as it relates to work readiness. I used criterion-based purposeful sampling to recruit participants, since all participants shared the same experiences of being a DPT graduate, using GoReact, and working as professional licensed physical therapists. The research question explored in this study was, what are the perceptions of Doctor of Physical Therapy graduates about the use of GoReact video assessment software during their professional physical therapy education as that relates to their readiness for professional clinical practice? And I'm going to skip ahead just for the sake of time to my demographics here. So 15 DPT graduates participated in this study. 6 started their DPT program during the early COVID-19 pandemic in either January or May of 2020. 9 participants started the program before the pandemic began, ranging from January 2017 to September 2019. Graduation dates ranged from December 2020 to December 2022 for all 15 participants. The participants described a variety of courses in which they used GoReact video assessment software. Most students used GoReact in their musculoskeletal courses, followed by neuromuscular and applied anatomy courses. Other courses using GoReact included biophysical agents, cardiopulmonary differential diagnosis, movement science, patient care management, pediatrics, and soft tissue mobilization. And I'm sure all of you PTs out there can figure out what program I studied based on those courses. Participants also listed various assignments and assessments using GoReact, including demonstrating and performing evaluation skills, patient interviews, safe patient transfers, and other psychomotor tasks for a grade. Most participants used GoReact to upload skill performance videos to the platform for instructor feedback and self-reflection. So my results, the first theme that I uncovered was of positive work readiness. So in response to the study's research question, most participants held a positive view of GoReact during their DPT program and its impact on professional clinical work readiness. I will discuss this theme and the negative work readiness theme in relation to the conceptual framework I used, which is based on the research of Padley et al. So Padley's first concept is confidence, which they described as the graduate's feeling or self-perception of readiness to enter the workplace. So in my study, participants felt that GoReact helped them reflect on their psychomotor skills and patient interactions, which positively affected their confidence upon entering the professional workplace. Regarding capability, or the graduate's competence to perform in the workplace, participants described how GoReact assignments simulated authentic patient interactions, allowed them to practice skills repeatedly for better performance, and served as self-reflection through video playback and review. All of these reflected positively on participants' capability to perform as professional physical therapists following graduation. Hadley et al. Described reflexivity as, quote, the overlap between the initial confidence and actual capability. Participants were asked to consider how GoReact use during their DPT program influenced their ability to perform as professional PTs following graduation. All but one participant felt that GoReact positively affected their ability to work as a professional physical therapist. Additionally, the reflexive nature of GoReact allowed participants to reflect on and refine their performance, or as one participant stated, to, quote, practice how you play. Hadley et al. Defined responsibility as an obligation of the new graduate to practice safely in their work environment. Unlike confidence, capability, and reflexivity, fewer participants felt that GoReact helped prepare them to practice safely as PTs in the clinic following graduation. Those that shared felt that GoReact helped reinforce safe patient practices through the verbalization of techniques while recording, reviewing, and reflecting on their performance, especially when errors were made, and using instructor feedback on safety to reinforce safe patient care. Hadley et al. Described context as the graduate's readiness for their role in the clinical setting. 11 participants shared a common belief that GoReact positively affected their preparedness for their role as professional physical therapists. They described how GoReact helped practice professional responsibilities, such as asking the proper questions when a patient to know when a patient might not be appropriate for physical therapy. Others felt that GoReact helped prepare them for professional practice with less pressure than in-person performance, more opportunities for feedback from instructors, and the task-specific role-playing nature of recording GoReact videos. Hadley et al. Described resilience as the graduate's readiness or preparedness, quote, to manage the emotional, physical, and social challenges, end quote, of the workplace. Of all the conceptual framework concepts, resilience garnered the fewest positive responses. 4 participants felt that GoReact prepared them to manage challenging or stressful situations in a professional PT clinic following graduation by teaching them to handle technology challenges, reflecting on facial expressions and body language, and their potential effect on patient interactions, and using mock scenarios to simulate challenging clinical situations. As discussed in the previous slides, study participants expressed an overall positive attitude toward GoReact and work readiness. Participants collectively perceived the ability to reflect on performance and receive feedback as most positive in relation to work readiness, which is consistent with the findings of Hager, Reeves and Wickard, and Suh et al., who reported that GoReact enabled student teachers to reflect on and self-evaluate their performance. Likewise, Forbes et al. Found that DPT graduates valued instructor and peer feedback and the ability to self-reflect on performance during their education programs as positive contributors to professional work readiness. These findings are also supported by Atkinson and McElroy, Forbes and Ingram et al., Leahy et al., Martin et al., and Stoikov et al., who confirm that DPT graduates benefit from mentoring, feedback, and self-reflection opportunities in the professional workplace, providing further validation for the use of GoReact during didactic coursework. Of mention, however, is that few study participants discussed using peer review, reflection, or collaboration with GoReact, which may positively influence professional work readiness, as supported by Maloney et al. And Short and Brewster. Further evidence in support of GoReact use and DPT graduate confidence is supported by the findings of Almond et al. And Lau et al., who reported that DPT graduates lacked confidence in their ability to perform certain skills, which GoReact in didactic training might improve. Furthermore, the additional positive impact on capability, responsibility, and resilience serve to prepare DPT students for success in the professional workplace by fostering the employer-desired characteristics of resiliency, self-awareness, communication and organizational skills, commitment to lifelong learning, and professionalism. While most participants viewed GoReact use as generally positive during their professional education, some aspects of GoReact garnered negative responses. Participants shared that GoReact made them hypercritical of themselves and their performance, as they felt that they needed to record a perfect video every time. Others found that the challenges of finding ideal camera angles for recording negatively affected their confidence. 2 participants cited no effect of GoReact on work readiness and confidence, stating they gained their confidence in the workplace through their experience as PT assistants or aides. Regarding capability, only 1 participant felt that GoReact negatively affected her competency to perform in a professional PT setting, stating that she did not feel as strong in some skills due to a lack of instructor feedback. As a result, she felt that she did not get as much practice as she would have liked and preferred in-person courses with instant and direct feedback to improve her clinical competency and work readiness. As with capability, the same participant was the only one who felt that GoReact did not influence her ability or preparedness to practice in a professional PT setting after graduation. Rather, she explained that she gained more experience from her internships, where she could rely on her clinical instructors for more psychomotor skills practice. Several participants felt that GoReact did not help or had no effect on their responsibility to perform safely in a professional PT clinic following graduation. Participants felt that safety training needed to be more hands-on and in person, since video demonstrations could be hindered by camera angles. Other participants explained that GoReact did not make a difference in their learning and practicing of patient safety, but that knowing the responsibilities of their profession was more effective. Regarding context, some participants felt that GoReact did not help prepare them for their role as PTs due to the, quote, performative nature of recorded skills demonstrations. For example, one participant stated that GoReact did not feel authentic in that there's only so much you could do even with your fake patient. Other participants felt GoReact had no effect on their preparedness to be a PT due to the often long delay in instructor feedback, which hindered their ability to practice skills correctly. Interestingly, GoReact had the most negative or neutral effect on DPT graduate resiliency. 3 participants felt that GoReact did not prepare them to manage emotional, physical, or social challenges in the professional workplace, while 8 participants cited no effect. Participants shared that the technical aspects of GoReact, fear of receiving negative feedback, and difficulty connecting socially or emotionally on video negatively affected their resiliency. As discussed in the previous slide, study participants expressed fewer negative feelings toward GoReact. However, there was an overall negative opinion of online instruction, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. As supported by Chesterton et al., some study participants felt disadvantaged by online instruction in their ability to develop and practice hands-on skills, despite using GoReact to mitigate these concerns. This is consistent with Bampton et al. And Seymour Walsh et al., who concluded that psychomotor skill teaching and assessment are more effective in a face-to-face campus environment, but contrary to Rossatini et al., who concluded that student satisfaction and performance using online resources during the COVID-19 pandemic was just as high as that as traditional in-person learning. Study participants also shared a preference for face-to-face instruction and feedback once able to return to campus following the COVID-19 pandemic, and therefore did not find GoReact as useful in preparing for professional clinical practice. This is supported by Elsaki and Masak et al., who reported that physical therapy program faculty were more concerned with psychomotor skill development and assessment in the online learning environment compared to face-to-face learning. However, an innovative digital platform like GoReact may be an effective adjunct to conventional instruction, assessment, and feedback methods to positively impact DPT graduates' clinical work readiness. Regarding the other framework concepts, some study participants reported negative to no effect of GoReact use on their responsibility, context, and resilience in relation to work readiness, which may have been due to their choice to use GoReact sparingly during their DPT program. This corroborates with the findings of Green et al. And Richardson et al., who found a positive relationship between the amount of time spent engaging with online learning content and PT student performance, supporting the idea that innovative technologies like GoReact might have a greater influence on professional work readiness when students actually use them. Additionally, some participants reported difficulties using GoReact during their DPT program as a negative contributor to professional work readiness. This is supported by the findings of Olivier et al., who reported that video assessment tools must be easily accessible and user-friendly. The participant interviews concluded with questions about benefits, challenges, and suggestions for GoReact use in a DPT program, which I will discuss over the next few slides. The most frequently cited benefits were the ability to receive feedback and to self-reflect on skills performance, the repetition of skills practice, and the freedom to use GoReact at any time outside of class. Specifically, participants discussed the value of receiving feedback, especially time-stamped at particular points in their recordings, as beneficial to learning and skill development. While most GoReact feedback is text-based, one participant stated that he preferred video feedback to see the instructor's, quote, emotional response to his performance. Regarding self-reflection, participants liked the ability to reflect on their performance outside of class via GoReact, which they felt helped their confidence, competence, and preparedness for skills performance. Similarly, participants touted the benefits of GoReact in encouraging repetition of skills practice. Yet one student preferred to submit her video. She preferred to submit her initial take for instructor feedback, as that was closer to real-time skill performance in the clinic. Lastly, participants liked the freedom and convenience of using GoReact at any time outside of the classroom, especially for those who found in-person skill demonstrations stressful. One participant discussed how PT schools are recognizing that all learning does not have to occur in the classroom. He felt that GoReact allows instructors to be more efficient and respectful of everyone's time, stating that he might not have been as successful as he was in school without technologies like GoReact. As discussed in the previous slide, study participants cited the ability to receive feedback and self-reflect on skills performance as among the most beneficial aspects of GoReact. This is supported by the findings of Akizuki et al. And Ebert et al., who reported that frequent and personalized feedback enhances the development of essential psychomotor skills and future performance expectations. Furthermore, instructor feedback can facilitate accurate self-assessment, reflection, and skill development, as supported by Maloney et al. And Perlow et al. Lastly, the benefits of using GoReact for skill repetition, self-correction, and performance improvement are supported by the findings of Odegaard et al. And Rowe et al., who reported the benefits of student-produced videos for skill repetition, reflection, and improvement. According to study participants, the most challenging aspects of GoReact involve technical issues with using the software, such as internet access and bandwidth, recording environment, and video capture. Participants frequently cited Wi-Fi access, slow upload speeds, and the need for quality hardware, as well as the inability to edit videos recorded directly to GoReact as most challenging, which some also reported as anxiety-inducing. Environmental challenges included finding the ideal angle to record skill performance, which was discussed by 10 of the 15 study participants. Participants were challenged on how to set up their camera to capture their recorded performance fully and accurately, since the observer or instructor would not have the ability to walk around and view all angles. Other environmental challenges included lighting, space, table height, and the invasive nature of recording in one's personal environment, which one participant reported as, quote, daunting. Several participants listed feedback as a challenge, including the wait time to receive instructor feedback and the lack of, quote, physicality of in-person instruction and feedback, since physical therapy is a very hands-on profession. Two participants mentioned the possibility of cheating when recording GoReact videos, particularly due to the limited video angles and possible assistance from individuals off camera. As discussed in the previous slide, many study participants described how the difficulty of finding adequate recording angles may limit an instructor's ability to evaluate a student's skill performance. This is supported by the findings of Ardley and Johnson, who reported that supervisors could only access what is visible within the, quote, sphere of the lens. The literature also described technical challenges with storage limits and audio quality, but these were not mentioned by participants in the study. However, to help mitigate these challenges and maximize GoReact benefits, several authors recommended training and access to technical support, which was mentioned by participants of this study as suggestions for improvement. In contrast, Short and Brewster refuted the reported challenges with GoReact use, stating that GoReact does not require complicated equipment or training and that students can easily upload videos for instructor review and feedback. However, based on this study's findings of the technical challenges with GoReact, it is recommended that students and instructors receive training and support to encourage its use and potential positive contributions to professional work readiness. Finally, the fifth theme, suggestions. Study participants offered helpful suggestions for using GoReact in a DPT curriculum. Most recommendations supported GoReact as a tool for soliciting instructor feedback rather than for virtual practical skills testing. Participants felt that GoReact was, quote, helpful when used the right way, such as for, quote, smaller skills like one manipulation or one measurement or one assessment, end quote. Other participants shared that GoReact was helpful for the confirmation or correction of skills in a hybrid DPT program, since they were only on campus twice a month for in-person instruction, while others felt that GoReact boosted their online learning experience and communication with instructors, especially amid concerns over learning hands-on skills during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some participants felt that GoReact should be optional or supplemental to in-person interactions, quote, for those areas where you're just not 100% sure, rather than making it a requirement to use because it may not always be helpful for everybody, end quote. Two participants suggested that GoReact software developers consider an option where a scenario can be changed in real time for a more authentic and spontaneous student response. Perhaps the best suggestion came from one participant who felt that innovations such as GoReact are harbingers of the future of physical therapy and suggested that students and licensed PTs be receptive to this new technology. Most participants favored GoReact as a tool for soliciting instructor feedback rather than for virtual practical skills testing. This confirms the findings of many studies in which authors supported the importance of formative instructor and peer feedback in the performance of clinical skills in physical therapy education. In particular, the study by Macaulay et al. Reinforced these findings by reporting that PT students appreciated formative skills assessment with instructor and peer feedback prior to practical examinations. All right, I'm running out of time. I'm sorry, so let me go on ahead. It's a lot of info. Let me skip limitations. Let me talk about recommendations for future research. I appreciate the reminder. So recommendations for future research emerged from the strengths and limitations of this study. Since my study focused on DPT graduates' perspectives from a single targeted university, I recommend additional studies to investigate GoReact use at other DPT and health professions programs. In addition to graduate perspectives, further research on student and faculty perspectives, specific uses of GoReact and performance outcomes will offer more insight into the benefits and challenges of GoReact as a learning and assessment tool. And I'll skip to the last one here, this last bullet. So based on Chesterton et al.'s recommendations, further research on innovative video assessment and feedback tools in relation to digital literacy, clinical performance, and employability is warranted as employees seek the most qualified and well-rounded graduates for their clinics. So in conclusion, this study sought to fill a gap in the literature on the use of GoReact video assessment software in DPT education and the perceptions of DPT program graduates on their readiness to practice in a professional clinical setting. Participants shared an overall positive view of GoReact use and professional work readiness and offered helpful suggestions for its use in physical therapy and other health professions education programs. Negative opinions of GoReact and work readiness primarily involve the lack of in-person tactile feedback with psychomotor skills and technical challenges such as finding ideal recording angles. As more professional physical therapy education programs adopt online teaching and learning practices, there is a need for innovative technology to supplement and possibly replace conventional instruction, assessment, and feedback methods to positively impact DPT graduates' professional clinical work readiness. Understanding DPT graduates' perceptions of GoReact and work readiness supports this need for innovative technology practices and research to ensure students develop the psychomotor skills necessary for optimal work readiness to competently meet their patients' needs. So this concludes my very fast presentation. If you have any questions, I am happy to try to answer them.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi.
We used a lot of GoReact in the occupational therapy program too during the COVID times. And I actually appreciate it because I could rewind and
Yeah.
see areas that I could comment more on. And I mean, even while they're doing it, like their pets, like cats and dogs and stuff, were crawling over them. It was kind of fun that way. But I don't think the students appreciated it. They didn't like it. They in OT, they wanted to be on campus with faculty on the spot. And we even gave feedback quickly. You know what I mean? Like we divided and conquered so that they would get feedback that same day, but it was too delayed for them. So they didn't appreciate it as much as I think faculty did.
Right. And I could see that from the feedback I got. Definitely. The ones that appreciated it seemed to appreciate it when we were back on campus and could use it as, supplemental tool. Any other questions? If not, I appreciate your time.